Hey, what is up, you guys? Welcome to June's Mangaku, where we're going to talk about Samurai 8. I'm joined, as always, by Josh and Jose. Say hi.
Hello.
El Ocho.
And for those of you guys that are new, maybe just saw the video because we're doing Samurai 8, what we like to do is we do a little spoiler-free review. Did we like it? What we think? Would we continue reading it? And then we will give you fair warning, and we will go super spoiler in-depth on what we thought about the first 3 volumes. So just start it off. What did you guys think? Did you like it? Yes, no, as spoiler-free as possible. What did you guys think of Samurai 8?
You first,
So
Josh.
I gotta say, first couple chapters were not great.
First chapter was long, 77
very
pages.
long.
First chapter.
It was very. I was messaging you guys. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it for the
I
video.
thought all the chapters were gonna be like that. I was like, yikes.
I think just the first couple chapters, I was kind of disinterested. It was not really like it was just all over the place. It felt like, but I think by the time you get to the end of volume 3, it's pretty decent. I'm not gonna say it's one of the best ones I've read, but I definitely say it's a pretty okay one to have read. I didn't feel like I wasted my time.
Jose?
I kind of agree with Josh's logic, or not logic, but like his sum up of it. It was a little slow kind of to start, especially with that 70 something page one.
Yeah.
Just from an art perspective, I like it just because it does remind me a lot of Naruto.
So, but it's not him that's doing the art. It's a different guy.
It's like his lead art, right? Or
Yeah.
something like
I
that.
think it was someone who studied under him, but it's not him.
But it's very similar, so I feel like I'm looking at a Naruto chapter sometimes.
Yeah, I definitely got the vibe.
But it was very like all over the place for a bit, and then towards the end, it's picking up, and you're just like, all right, this is all right for me.
Yeah, obviously we're only doing the first 3 volumes, and I don't know what that really translates into like an anime. I don't know how many episodes that would be. But I thought it was very mediocre. The first 2.5 volumes I felt like was nothing but an info dump constantly.
There's a point where I think they even make fun of that in there.
Yeah.
It's not really
Yeah, they do.
Like, oh, this is an info dump. It's like so when you were saying that, I agree with you. I full fucking agree with you. But I think that was their poor attempt at trying to establish a world.
Yeah, but
Like,
it's like
Yeah,
they got
they
the
had-
saying, like someone told them, hey, remember, show, don't tell. It's better. And they're like, oh, tell, don't show. Okay.
Yeah,
That's what I'm going to
definitely.
do.
It was
And
very like info heavy.
Oh, so heavy.
It's
that
just
was what made this so fucking hard to like get through too. Like it was just like I felt, oh yeah, it's only 20 pages per chapter after that first one, but fuck, it was a
It
lot
was
of reading.
text.
Yeah,
and
it
text
was-
and text, and it was like even
And-
during fight scenes, it was like they're still explaining shit about the world in
Yup.
the middle of the fight scenes.
And Jose was saying he liked how it looked, and I know you said you don't know how it translates into anime, but for me, it felt like I literally had no idea what the fuck was happening in every panel.
Okay, that is one of my complaints as well, where I feel like someone
a little
like,
messy.
well, an example is, you think of the Naruto guy. He has fight scenes on fucking lock, okay?
Yeah.
But he's not doing, and I don't know if he's helping with the storyboarding or what his actual, how much he actually helps. But it seems like in the fight scenes, things get lost. Like,
It's
Yeah,
so
okay.
fucking painful.
it jumps
sometimes.
around, and it's like it's sometimes I'm like looking at it, I'm like, what am I supposed to get from this scene? It's like I'm not 100%
Do you
sure.
think it's because like I don't know if it's too spoilery, but it's like the creatures that are in it and like how everything meshes together.
I was thinking that too, because it's so like I guess like to get into it, the general like idea of the whole thing is it's like a futuristic samurai star travel kind of
It's
like
it's a samurai
It's-
sci-fi story.
yeah, it's like
Samurai
they're space
sci-fi.
samurai almost.
yeah, and I think and I genuinely believe this. The concept of it is fucking dope. They just failed miserably.
I
at
would
some
agree
of
with
the
that
stuff.
100%. I would agree with that
I-
100%.
And
the
I think
execution was just not there.
yeah,
So
and
that being said, before we get super into spoilers, I do think by volume, let's just say going into volume 3, it got better. Like
did.
But I think by that time people already checked out. Because as we've said last episode when we reviewed Tokyo Revengers and talked about this for a little bit, this has a very bad reputation as being just boring. So I think it was weird because part of my issue with it is that it felt like they tried to blitz making a world. So they just fucking threw all this at you because they're like, I'm coming from, however many years of Naruto where I've built up this complete world. I want to get back to that spot. That's what it felt like to me. It's like, I want to get back to having that complete full world where I can just have the best, like the coolest adventure in. So they just throw all the shit at you. It's like, hey, listen, fucking put your head down and just chug on through because you're just going to have all of this knowledge that's going to go in one ear right out the other.
Yeah, and it was every chapter was like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it is like I know we just read the 3 volumes, but it's like it was kind of hard to just remember some of the stuff they were originally talking about. Like it's like they told us about this, but then it's like when they bring it back up, I'm just like, what?
It's too much. It was seriously that. Honestly, that is my biggest complaint about this manga. There's too much. They try to stuff you with so much info, and it's like, holy shit.
So there's 2 theories to writing like a book. There's the Gardner approach where you allow the story to grow as you write it, or there's the architect approach where you've built the entire world from start to finish. The end of the thing is written pretty much, and you know where it starts. And I think they did the architect approach, and they're like, what's a great idea? We just put the whole fucking thing, all the lore right here in the first 3 volumes. And the problem is I can guarantee you we're not even like a third of the way through the fucking lore. Because they even at the fucking final chapter, they were like adding like little tidbits where you're just like, oh, okay, that's going to be another fucking lore dump next chapter. Yeah. And back to the animation or like the art, I feel like this was designed purely to be a fucking anime, and they just said, hey, we should make this a manga first. Like, dude, it made no sense.
Imagine if that was the game plan, and like, oh, the guy who did Naruto is behind it. It's going to get an anime, no problem. And then it puts it out, and everybody's like, oh, this is kind of shit. It's like, I don't know if I want to make this an anime.
But, my normal great...
I honestly, I get what Josh means, though. Like, the way things were so supposed to be fluid didn't translate well to paper.
Yeah. And, I thought there was a lot of cool concepts. I thought the characters weren't even all that bad. I thought, everything about it was supposed to be good. Like, there was a lot of cool shit that I have really
an issue with the main character and the main girl. I have an issue with both of them.
I would love to hear. I will
in the spoiler-ridden section. I will talk about that.
So I guess the final. I mean, do you have any more non-spoiler points? I guess the only question.
Not really.
Are you gonna keep reading it?
Yeah. Let's just move on to Will. You keep reading it, Jose. Do you plan on big Naruto fan? We're all big Naruto fans.
I grew up loving Naruto.
Jose, will you continue reading Samurai?
It's probably a no for me. If it does get an anime, I will watch the anime, but just reading it felt a little bit more of a chore.
Yeah. Josh?
I agree with Jose. The only reason I would continue reading is to see just what they do with it, because I really, really want to like it. This is the first one we've read where I didn't enjoy the whole thing.
Yeah.
So
we've generally been pretty positive across the board with our picks, but
our fearless leader Sam has just picked some fucking fire shit.
Be a no for me, not at all. Yeah. I am honestly, after reading all 3 volumes, I'm not interested in the fucking slightest in knowing what's gonna happen. Don't fucking care. In one ear, out the other. It feels so much like work that I'm out. It's just no, thank you.
And I think the one last thing, and I was already talking to you guys about this. I think, Sam, you may have let me know this before. The Viz Media reader was absolute fucking shit.
Yeah, we talked about it in a podcast. We talked about it in a podcast.
I was trying to get because I just don't read manga without you guys.
See, this is great because normally I'm the only one that uses it, so this is great.
Dude, I see exactly what you mean, though. It's like, why?
It was like, oh, do you want to do full screen? It's like, oh yeah, sure, do full screen.
It makes it smaller.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay. And then I go to try and pay to have it, because we talk like, oh, you just do a subscription, you can read more. I had so many broken links. I literally had to go. Sam was frustrated with me when I was telling him about it. It's like, I don't know how to pay for it, dude. I'm trying so hard right now.
So Josh was like, it's so weird. It lets me buy volume 1 and volume 2. It's like, no, you don't need to buy the volumes. It's like, just subscribe. It's like, it's $5 or something for a month, and they give you all their back catalog, which sounds and is an amazing deal. Like, amazing. But
They
the
just need to work
reader,
on
the
simplifying the
website,
reader.
it's so shit.
It was just, I had to go, what was it? I had, every time you would click on to unlock more, it would be, oh, do this. And then it would pop up a thing. It says, oh, if you want to do this, learn more. I would click learn more. The link was broken. I had to go to 3 different areas that had the learn more tab. They were all broken. I had to go through my account, I believe, then look at my membership, and then say, I want to upgrade it. And then I finally got to the PayPal screen, and that took like fucking 10 minutes.
And this is the first time, by the way, that this has ever annoyed me, because normally I'm just keeping up with weeklies on that website, so I don't have this problem. But it times you out of your session if you keep it open for too long.
Yeah.
It times you out. So it's like, I'll like leave it, like, let's say I'll read 8 chapters, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come back to it later. So I'll leave it on the chapter that I'm on, and I'll come back and be like, your session has expired. Click reload to start again. So you have to reload. It takes you back to the first page of the chapter that you just finished reading.
No.
And then you have to sign back in and all that shit. It times you out.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was my biggest gripe. I was stressing because I was reading it today, man. Like I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to make this. The first chapter is 76 pages.
Yep.
The fucking reading website's not working with me. Like I got first 4 chapters. That's it, dude. It's fucked.
It's so bad. But let it be known that will not affect what we thought about it all. But fucking Shonen Jump, like the Viz Shonen Jump website, they need to get their shit together. That is garbage.
Yeah, I fully agree.
Okay, with that, let's head into the spoiler section. So if you wanted to just know, should you read Samurai 8? Probably not. Unless you are diehard, like you love the author of Naruto, you're going to love anything he ever does. Probably skip it, or wait until it gets a little better and then see what what you might think. So
I would say that, or if it gets an anime, probably worth giving.
I think that's the correct option. Wait for it to get an anime, because then they can fill in a lot of stuff and it'll be a lot smoother.
Yeah,
wait for that. I think that is 100% a viable option. Wait for that. And with that, spoiler warning, we're going right into it. Starting from the beginning, you meet the main character, Hachimaru. He's hooked up to some life support systems, and that's kind of all you know. And he sees a shooting star.
Diet.
He wants to wish to be a whole bunch of things, and eventually he decides he wants to be a samurai. And right from that moment, classic kind of manga setup, he does not get better for me. I'm gonna say something real controversial here. He reminds me a lot of Rey from the newest Star Wars.
Really?
Okay. He's
I know what you mean now.
supposed to be shit. He's supposed to not be powerful. He talks about it all the time, but he's so powerful. Every time.
Yeah,
the slightest
immediately.
things. If we just jump around to certain things, he cuts a tank in half.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then at the fucking end of the chapters we were reading, he's like his sensei, which you'll meet later on, is literally like, he's growing so slow, but he's growing. It's like, bitch,
he has the power already.
Shit.
Yep. And it's just like everything about him is just like, he is just powerful. It is what it is. And it's like he has not had a serious competition with anything yet. And it's like the one thing that he did have, he was doing really well. Like when he had to fight against, what's the guy's name? Atta, or whatever his name is. He did incredibly well. And even the guy was like, holy shit, okay.
And that was like right when he was just learning how to do stuff. And I was just like, how the fuck?
I do appreciate so one of the things that they kind of established with him being, essentially crippled, like he couldn't leave the house. He was like in a 15-foot radius of that thing. He got very good at video games. You find out later that he was the #1 ranked player, which I thought was cool. I like that. And I like that he meets the rank 2 player a little later on too, and they have like a connection. I thought that was great.
So I have a question for you. I have a question for you guys. Did the little dog go into VR with him? Was he also wearing VR goggles, or is that just the design of the dog?
I think it's the design of the dog.
Because his goggles were identical.
I never drew that. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, that would make sense because he was like hella lonely and all that shit.
So I didn't know if he maybe designed it to look like the VR goggles. So like, I don't know, they're kind of compatible. They look the same. But I was confused by that at the start, and then I think it's pretty clear later that he's not. But then it's also like, oh, we've been together the whole time, whatever. So, the whole thing with his dad, I feel like they handled this manga so weirdly.
Yeah.
Where it's some things they put fucking lore dump for days, just like boom, 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 boom. Other times, not so much. It's like they skimp out on some parts that I would like to know about. Like, I feel like his dad, the whole dad's arc up to him dying, that went so quick and so like.
I feel like you didn't get a chance to really see the connection.
No, and
as much.
they try to play it right. Like we've seen this time-tested thing where asshole dad. What?
Longest fucking death scene ever. Okay.
Yeah.
Like that, you got a whole chapter to explain what happened.
Yeah, but it's like we've seen that a million times where it's like it's this dad. He's a prick, but he's really a good guy.
Yeah.
And it's like they keep heading towards that direction, and then it doesn't happen until he is dead. And like Josh is saying, until he's literally stabbed in the fucking heart. And he's like, oh, no, I always really liked you. I was doing this to protect you. Like,
I always knew you were powerful.
Okay. Yeah. It's like, I guess now we're going to get to that. It's like, it would have been nice to see that he is not a bad guy before he died.
So I was hoping when he was dying, he's like, I tried to kill you. Because basically you find out after he defeats the image of the bad guy. So this isn't even the real bad guy. He defeats the image of the bad guy, but his dad's suffered a fatal wound. He finds out he has 7 other copies of him that his dad was the creator of, and he was the failed 8th one, so they were supposed to have 7. There's a lot of lore. I feel like we can't. This is rough because normally we'd lore dump people with art.
So
like
let me ask you another question. Let's back up a little bit. What is the main objective of all the samurai?
They're supposed to get the keys.
Okay,
right?
What do the keys do?
They unlock. I don't even remember.
Holder. And then the key holder has to have a princess. And it just literally never fucking stops.
So they have to find the 7 or 8 keys.
I think it's 8.
I think it's 7 keys, and there's 2
Pandora's box.
There's 2 sets, or not sets, but like 2 boxes. One is a box and one is a circle.
Yeah.
And one is they made it seem like it's going to destroy the world? Question mark?
Yeah.
Reset everything. I think it could sever everything.
And then the other one is supposed to save the world.
Yeah. So Pandora's box is supposed to save the world. Mandala's box is supposed to be what
Which
the bad
seems like
guys
it should be opposite, really. The naming system should be opposite.
I'm almost certain Pandora's box. Like, I feel like that was one of the things where they just kind of half-assed and they're like, you know what we should do? Throw a second box in there.
And then it's like the keys for Pandora's box will also work with Mandala's box.
Yeah.
So they go to any box you fucking want.
Mm-hmm.
And so you find out that the whole point of his dad was to make artificial keys. And that way that he can use the keys to open the bad one. And the bad guy, who is Ata, who is the disciple of Daruma, who we haven't even talked about yet.
What is he? Is he a hamster or a cat?
I think he's like what is it called? Like I want to say Todoroki, but it's not it.
No, it's a
he's a cat.
Damar or something?
Cat.
What is the thing that Mario's tail is based off of when he flies?
Oh, Tanuki?
I think he's supposed to be a Tanuki.
Oh, okay.
But you find out that the keys can work on either one, and the reason why that the 7 other actual keys don't work is because he was a defect, but because he's a defect, he has some of their power, so they're not full power, so they need to kill him to get full power, then they could open the box to the wrong one, and then he can unlock the box, which unlocking the box will give Ata enough power to go then free his master, who's being held by another samurai who wants to destroy all the planets. So he'll go free him and then take all the stuff.
Hold up. I think the fuck.
It's all over this is way too much.
Darama's master is holding.
I'm saying Ata's master. It's the bad guy that's trying to destroy everything. I think I misheard what you were saying.
Yeah. I was like, I didn't want everyone to be confused.
So
they're going to be confused.
Like, basically imagine the Office episode where they trade up all of the items. That's basically the grand scheme of this anime. Is they need to collect the keys, trade them up, get this power, save the world, or destroy the world. And then you either save the world by, I guess, getting rid of the big bad guy. We don't know what exactly saving the world means. Or you destroy the world by releasing the big bad guy. We know that for sure.
When we say how fucked up the moon got, during all this?
Yeah.
Okay, can we talk about? Okay, so there's a move that Daruma.
Do we want to talk about Daruma
Demonstrate.
real quick? Do we want to talk
Yeah,
about?
we'll talk about him first.
Key character, and that's what Jose's talking about, the move and the moon, and that's it's all coming together. So we meet Daruma. He's who knows what the fuck he is. He gets compared to a cat a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm neither. I'm a man.
Yeah, you find out that he is really the main character, Hachimaru, he plays video games, like Josh mentioned, he's the #1 rank. And Daruma sent out the video game to find people who would be good apprentices.
Did he really?
Yeah, he made it.
Oh, see, I fucking could not understand what that meant, that line. I thought that's what he said.
Yeah. He made the video game, sent it out, and that's why he found Hachimaru. So Hachimaru's #1 ranked, so he went to meet him, and you find out a little more about Daruma's backstory, how apparently he is the badass character from that game that Hachimaru's been playing, the lone wolf, or whatever they refer to him as, but he is now for some reason stuck into a cat-like body.
Wow, I am getting something spoiled for me right now, because I had no fucking clue.
Nice.
I didn't know that he was the main character in the video game.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So you find that out, and then you get a little bit of his backstory, but something happened to his princess. So he does not have a princess anymore, as far as we know. He travels in a giant turtle. That is his key holder. And he's still OP as fuck, but he's just not as OP as he's supposed to. Oh, and he's blind.
And he's blind. Yep.
Which I have a gripe with.
Okay.
The whole blind thing is they played to it when they wanted to, and then they just kind of forgot about it.
Oh, I agree.
Oh, yeah, completely.
agree.
They mentioned it like, oh, yeah, I'm blind, by the way, but I could still see.
I'm blind, and then he goes and says, oh, so is that why you're connected to, like, cables? And it's like, how did you fucking see the cables?
Dude, that exact part, Josh, I thought the same thing. He mentioned that, and I was like, what? It's like, how did he know that?
And then he goes immediately back to saying, I'm blind. It's like, but...
And like he mentions sometimes that he can see like with his mind's eye, but then they kind of show you sometimes that he just sees highlights of people. So he shouldn't even be able to see the chords or anything.
Nope.
And by the way, they very quickly write that shit off by the 3rd volume because he's just transferring visions from people.
Oh my god.
So it's like, why is he even blind? It doesn't make any... If he can just be like, hey, transfer what just happened to my memory, let's just make him not blind anymore. He's not blind anymore.
Also, okay, so that was #1 gripe. #2 gripe, if I ever see a samurai wielding a fucking gun, I swear to God.
Oh my god, I forgot about that
so
part.
You talk about that, but there's a part, I think towards the end of the 3rd volume you see it, because Daruma starts having like flashbacks, and it's talking about like his talk with his master.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And you see a human form Daruma, and he's got a sword and a pistol, and I'm like, that is so fucking cool. I wish we were watching that guy.
Exactly. I think it's a cool concept, but don't tell me a samurai has a gun. Like, it was just so fucking weird because
I thought that was badass.
No, look, I agree with you both. It's a fucking badass concept. It's just weird for me in like a conceptual traditional format to say, hey, I have a sword, but you know what's also cool? I can just glack people from across the room.
It doesn't make a lot of
Indiana
sense.
Jones somebody.
Yeah, exactly. They could write it off as like an honor thing, you know, where it's like, oh, that's why we fight with swords.
Sniping people.
But yeah, it's like, why wouldn't you just do that 100% of the time? You know,
exactly.
It's like if you have a gun, you're gonna win in a sword fight. It's just, it is what it is. And it's like I felt kind of disappointed when he pulled out the sniper. He was like, hey, I need you to be my eyes, and then they just cut. They're just like, oh, here's all the numbers going down. Bing, 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 bing. It's like, I would have liked to have seen some of that, maybe. And it's like, this is the fastest tournament arc I've ever seen. Like, from the guy who did fucking Naruto, who has some of the best tournaments in it.
Yup.
Like, this just flies by. We don't meet anybody of value except for one guy. One
which
pair.
is really weird.
I tried not to compare it to Naruto, but it's just like, I just couldn't. The one guy even kind of looks like Sasuke.
But it's like, he has the reputation where it's like, you should be able to see something written by him and be like, yo, this is going to be fantastic. Or at least, you know, good. At least good.
You know, yeah, expect something
but it's like,
above.
In animes, the best parts are tournament parts. Like, when they have to fight each other or they have to join a tournament, it's the best. And they've just dropped the ball. They haven't introduced enough characters to have a solid tournament part. the two people that you meet way into volume 3, the guys trying to break into their ship, are fucking cool. I like the both of
I
them.
like them a
But
lot.
we had to
The
wait till third
idiots.
volume to get somebody that I actually liked. It's like fucking hell.
No, it's super strange. You're right. The fucking tournament went by super quick. They brought in one character to fucking kind of like ham fist how to be a good main character, and then deuces out, and it's like,
And he loses, by the way.
Yeah.
He
Yep.
loses.
he lost.
Yep.
Oh my god! Right.
I am telling you, the main character is so strong. And then he's gonna win again, by the way, because he has to fight. So the volume 3, we're skipping all over the place here, but volume 3, it ends with they have won the main tournament. Now they get the rights to fight the host of the tournament and to try to win, 99 billion yen or whatever the fuck it is.
It was 1 billion yen.
Yeah.
So they're gonna fight him, and it ends by Daruma, who is the master and the more powerful, conceding his spot so Hachimaru can fight. And they set it up where it's looking like in order for them to leave, they have to defeat the host because the host says he's calling somebody, and they're gonna. What I think is gonna happen, they're gonna come and collect all of everybody's keys because he's shown to have the big key collection. So I think he takes the keys from all of the losers when he wins. So I think he takes all that shit. So that's they have to win. They have to win. They can't lose the key and continue going on.
Yeah.
So it's
Spoiler, that's where it ends.
Yeah.
And that guy's gonna lose, and he's like a fucking planet cleaver.
Yeah.
So, dude, I just have so many gripes with so many power levels because they introduce Atta, and you clearly know he's gonna be the main bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
They just fucking yeet him into the fucking first chapter, essentially.
Pretty much, yeah.
That would be the equivalent of and I don't know yet. It could be. It's like putting Madara right in the fucking first series. It felt like, but he could be just a fucking like Orochimaru character, and he's just gonna be like your good guy. I don't know. They don't. You basically get like one of those. Princesses and samurais can be evil. Then they get immediately cut to an evil princess and samurai. The evil samurai.
One of those things, once again, show don't tell would have been great.
Show don't tell, exactly. And there's a lot of gripes I actually have, but so they send him over. He fucking you got like some level of this samurai and priestess that are up in this floating thing are super dope. Like they're ancient. They're fucking
I was mad about that.
Oh yeah, when it gets yeeted right in the first bit.
And Atta just shows up, and he looks like he's losing in the first fight, and then the next scene is him fucking decimating this massive beast.
I think that goes back to, I think that falls under my gripe of he tried to blitz everything too fast. Like, we needed more build up to that. Like, I would have liked to have met both of them, like the grandma and the granddad, who are like badass protectors of the world. I would have loved to met both of them. Love to. They seem like cool characters. They're down to earth. The guy's called like the Immortal something. So it's like
Immortal Mugen.
So it's like I would like to meet both of them, but instead we don't get to meet either of them, and we're supposed to know like, oh, okay, they're powerful, but we have no idea how powerful they are, and then they just get killed off instantly.
They're literally the defenders of that entire planet,
and they just got
powerful
fucked.
they are. And you have literally nothing. They just go from, it'd be really cool to meet up with him again. I remember fighting him. He was cool, and then he's dead. Yeah. And I got sad at that point. It was like you knew he was gonna die.
Yeah.
Or you knew he was at least going to get fucked up and some shit was going to happen.
The moment the words came out of Daruma's mouth where I would love to talk to him and I have a couple questions for him, he's dead. It's over.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it literally, like, I cannot stress this enough. The beginning of that fight would have been awesome. So this is, again, one of those, like, this needs to be an anime because that fight would be awesome.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah.
But fucking Atta just literally goes from, oh no, like, he had the fucking exclamation point in front of him, he looks stressed, and then goes to like, yeah, exactly, and then he's just at the planet like, oh hey, by the way,
hey, I hate to do it again, but let's compare it to Naruto, okay? Spoilers for OG Naruto coming in, just heads up.
Oh no.
Let's compare it to the third Hokage's death.
Okay?
Oh
my god.
That is so much better, so cooler, so much more impactful. We actually got to know him.
Yeah,
okay?
he was fleshed out.
And it's like we get fucking nothing from these guys.
All those two characters, the princess and Mujin, served literally was to say Atta's powerful.
Yeah.
They had
Imagine if he built up the one world that they were on like it was almost Naruto, right? Like he goes and does a couple of missions or whatever. And let's say, you know, you meet the people who are protecting the world, they're cool, whatever. But then you find out, you know, it's like Atta shows up and just destroys that whole thing. And then it's like, yeah, you thought we were going to hang out on this world forever, but actually we are traveling worlds. We're going multiple different worlds. It'd be like, oh shit, okay.
So I was conflicted with that concept because I was thinking that too. I have seen the progression story so much, and just it's natural. It has to be a thing. You have to see some progression. I don't think I could rewatch, you know, OG Naruto because I just, you know, what Naruto and Sasuke can do now. It's kind of just like it's not stellar anymore. You're numb.
Yeah, but we start with pure power this time.
Yeah, they literally just skip to the fucking main arc battle. Almost, they reveal the main plot of the bad guys. They reveal all this shit. Like, I remember when Orochimaru got revealed in the fucking forest tournament, and it was just like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
Like, this is scary, you know? And like you said with Third Hokage, he had a character, he had fucking sacrifice that he had to give, and you saw him fucking be a badass. Like, you actually got to see what he did. Mm-hmm. Mujin was just literally like, hey, you know, this guy's fucking, he's dead. He's just dead.
Don't even matter.
Yeah, it's just like, man, I wanted so badly for them because, like, I kind of have, you know, like, when you know that they're gonna get the boys together, like they're talking about they have to form a group. It's like, let's speed that up a little bit because the main character by himself is not the best. Honestly, not the best. And I have a problem with Anne, by the way, who we haven't even talked about, who is the princess who is Hachimaru's princess, and the way the world is set up is that there's a samurai, there's a key holder, there's a princess, and that's the Trinity. They refer to them as the Trinity. If you have all three of those, you could be super powerful. The princess boosts your power up to like 12 times or whatever they said at the very end.
Yeah. Her prayer.
She is a classic nervous anime girl. She stutters all the time. She talks really low. It was so annoying to read that constantly.
So I don't think she's a classic nervous anime girl. It literally goes from her being like, fuck you pretty much, to stutter mumble, fuck you, I don't do what you tell me kind of thing. Like, it was really weird. And like, oh, hey, how's it going? And she's like, no, I don't want to talk to you.
She just had her weird moments. It was kind of almost like a Sakura feel to it, too.
Do you think they were going for like a Hinata feel almost on that? And obviously they spice it up a little bit, like Josh was saying.
Yeah, I feel like they literally mixed both.
Or does she actually stutter, and that's what it's supposed to be? Because
no, it has
line
to be
she
nervous.
had stuttered.
Because it was that wavy text, so I feel like that's a nervous thing.
The other funny fucking thing, though, so I was triggered by it too. Sam, not nearly that bad, but then they introduced her brother, which just out of nowhere, and he stutters too. And I want to punch a fucking wall.
That's why I wonder if they just both stutter, like if it's like a verbal thing that they're just stuttering. Because it was like, it's annoying to read. It's like, so you think we can go, Jesus Christ, and then it's every line is like it starts with some sort of a stutter. Like, man, this is brutal. And
so in the general arching theme of gripes that I had with this, there's too many items. I was confused at what thing did what at all times. They're like, oh, we have a locker box or something like that. And it's like...
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is that?
We still don't kind of know. It's just a rock that can pull a fucking knife out and you can kill yourself on the knife.
Okay, yeah, so real quick, let's switch to a pause. Let's take a quick pause because we're all being super negative. What did we like about this, okay? One of the things I did like is I did really like her brother's story. I thought
the backstory,
that was sad as fuck, and I thought that was... really, like, that was unique, interesting. I like that a lot, where it's like he really wanted to protect her, so I'm gonna go do this thing, and it's like, yeah, that doesn't work. And so that was brutal.
I agree with you. It's one of the, so you can have one of those like Game of Thrones gotcha twists on every turn where you can't guess it, or you can see it coming and you don't want it to happen and it's inevitable and you hate it, and that's what happened there. That was good. I really agree with you. I didn't like that he stuttered, but him that you knew it was gonna happen.
It was
like,
was a fantastic story. Like, the way it was set up, everything great. I really, really like the two characters that get introduced right at the end. The
those
people
guys
who
were
break
funny.
into the turtle.
Mhm.
I think they're
Ryu
fantastic.
and
Ryu was the
Kugatsu?
black-haired one, right?
Kugatsu, Kagatsu.
I don't remember
we're
any of their
normally-
names.
We're normally just really shit at remembering names. There is just literally so much lore dump. My brain doesn't want to fucking function anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they were great characters.
Yeah,
I
I
like-
thought they were both great.
They had a lot of good comedic relief.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I think you got more comedic relief, not just from them, but because they were involved in the story.
Yeah, definitely.
But I didn't like Ryu being so fucking powerful.
So they're setting up for something with that, by the way.
Yeah.
Because he is not.
There
So
has to
let's
be.
talk about them, because I like both of them a lot. I think they should have been in from the very beginning, because let's I'm fucking all the order up here, but we haven't even talked about Nanashi, who is apparently just one of many people named Nanashi, as you find out with the brothers'
the main
backstory.
Yeah.
So you meet this character named Nanashi, and he's secretly not really even secretly, but he's the second ranked person in that same fighting game that the main character plays all the time when he is back and stuck on the tubes and stuff.
Yeah.
I wanted him so badly to join the crew. Actually, we don't even know what he is. Shame on me for saying him.
We haven't
He's either
seen it.
he or she. He has
But
left
they
hand
did
and right hand that talks to each other. We don't fucking know.
They also did a cool thing. I don't know if you guys noticed. His right eye is feminine, and his left eye is
Oh, I
masculine.
did not notice that.
Oh,
at
I
all.
did not notice that. That's a
So
good
it was
catch.
tripping me out because they really like all the imagery of him is like very flowing clothes, so you don't get any like chest or anything like that, or anything. And I thought it was really funny when Hachimaru is the main character's name? Is it
Hachimaru.
Oh, I can't believe I can't remember that. 8-Boy.
Yeah,
He's like, oh well, if you got a thing between your legs, you're a guy. If you got something on your chest, you're a girl, or something like that. And I was cracking up when they said that. But yeah, they never reveal it. And then at the end, he says something weird. He's like, oh, I want to cut a cake with you.
I think he was alluding to the fact that he had a crush on Hachimaru.
Yeah.
And it was a wedding cake, right?
That's what I got. I didn't get the wedding cake thing, but I very heavily picked up that they are in love with Hachimaru.
They're a thing, yeah.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that, and I don't know why he or she was not involved in the rest of the adventures. It literally made no sense.
But it's like they just need I'm gonna bring it back to Naruto, okay? Team 7 is 4 people, okay? And it's 4 people with fucking personalities. Hachimaru is so boring, and so is Anne. Oh my god, those are so
You really
boring.
dislike Anne, huh?
Dude, they're just so boring.
They're cliche, and they have nothing that's like different.
They just don't have much going on.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know. One of them is fine. I can take one of them at a time. But both of them constantly is brutal.
Yeah, I hope. See, I don't see them growing that much as like characters. I see maybe, Hachimaru, once he got the lesson from the samurai dude, like, protect your princess, he's going to be more like, I have to protect you kind of thing. But because now he's at a point where he's just like a fucking master swordsman.
Yup.
And it's just like, okay, now I just need to learn how to protect my girl. I feel like the most character development that they're going to add in the later chapters is literally that he's just gotten more stern, like, oh yeah, I got to protect her. But like, he doesn't fail. There's no like, it's the weirdest part that he failed in was when his sword stabbed him in his own head.
Yeah, but that was just kind of funny.
Yeah, and I like that, but it just, they didn't give him any opportunities to mess up in front of people outside of the.
I get what you mean. Where it's like in Naruto, he wasn't good at pretty much anything.
Yeah, he sucked ass at everything, but they just decided to like, what sucks ass the most? A dude that can't literally leave the house for 5 seconds.
Yeah, and
they
do like a dumb thing where it's like, you take Naruto, you take Sasuke. One is naturally good at everything. One has to work really hard at it.
Yeah.
They give him both. Like, he is both.
Yeah, he's literally both.
They combine both of them, and it's like, that's not pick one, please.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the best characters in the whole fucking series.
Oh,
Ryu
you're right.
and Kotsuga, I think is
Yeah.
his name. The two of them, Kotsuga is a thief, and Ryu is kind of like his hired, not even really hired, but like the guy he travels with, who is buff guy. So he does all the fighting. Kotsuga breaks in, steals shit. But you find out that Ryu has amnesia. He doesn't know anything about anything, really. He can't remember anything. And he just knows that Kotsuga is a good guy, so he's hanging out with Kotsuga.
One gripe I have about the amnesia clause, and I'm sorry,
Yeah.
because I know we're in the
If you're
positive.
gonna shit on my guy,
His
yeah.
amnesia apparently just keeps wiping shit. Like, it's like reconsistent amnesia. It's not like, hey, I've learned something in the time since my amnesia.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the thing.
But he literally just forgets everything.
Like short-term memory loss, you
that's
mean?
the thing.
He has short-term memory loss. I think that they should have described it as that rather than just plain amnesia.
But it's clearly they're setting up for something because the main sensei guy, if I already forgot his fucking name, he runs like a scan to see who he is. And he's like, oh, nothing comes up. But how is he so powerful, and how does he have two souls? He has two souls instead of the one. So he is clearly someone really badass.
Was he the one to point out? I thought it was Hachimaru that was like, oh, you have two souls.
Yeah, Hachimaru did notice it, but when he ran the scan, he was like thinking, and he was like, yeah, he's got two souls. He's got to be someone, but it's like, who is he? And he's just a badass. Like, he is so cool. And even his teammate, I would love to watch the two of them. It's like, let's fucking leave this one. If
there was just a show about them two.
Yeah, if they were the main characters, it would have been way more enjoyable.
Yeah, it's just like, man. And I hope to God, I've not read anything past Volume 3 at all. So I don't know what happens, but I hope to God they join the crew, because that needs to be livened the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And they've left space for Ryu too, because like obviously I think we're gonna eventually find out who he is, or he's gonna get his memories.
Yeah,
back.
he's gonna play an important role. You could just tell.
He will be in it later. And same thing with Nanashi. He'll be in it later as well, but it really needs to be spicing up now.
Yeah, I'm hoping for Nanashi, when we come back, they are just broken powerful. They're like, well, you were number one, I was number two. So like because the combo attack between the two of them was uber fucking powerful as well. And it was like totally nonsense villains that had no real purpose. Like, they weren't really doing anything outside of just being dicks, really. I know they wanted to steal something that was valuable, but I don't think you even see what they were trying to steal in the first place.
Yeah. They needed to stay on that planet longer, and they need to have like a Zabuza arc, you know?
Yeah.
Not yet.
And I think
it's too much.
It's just it really just needs to be slowed down and just fleshed out.
Yeah. Which is weird because they fleshed out everything else.
Yeah, they did.
They literally world builded the whole first two.
But it's like they did it so much. I don't know even know if you would call that fleshing out as much as they were just like, yeah, listen here, take it.
This is what it is now.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what it reminded me of? A really poorly made board game. You know, it's like it was every rule. You spend 30 minutes learning.
Dude, that is a perfect explanation.
Yeah,
actually.
And then when you play the game, it's like you have no fun without remembering all the rules. And then when you remember all the rules, you're not having fun anymore.
Yeah,
because it's just not a good game.
That's exactly what it is. It's like getting a brand new board game, like especially board games that come out now that are just fucking complex as fuck.
Yeah,
and it's just like it's got like pages and pages and pages of shit that you have to read. It's like, oh fuck me.
No, I stand by that now.
Like even in the battle arc, like the tournament arc, when they're talking about like, okay, you can either concede, or if your bone handle or something gets damaged, then you're out. I'm like, I'm sorry, what is that?
The bone handle is
the sword.
It's the sword,
right?
Yeah.
It's the sword handle.
Comes from your
it's the hilt
holder. Yeah, it's like a bone from your key holder.
Okay.
But Daruma fucking just finds that horse. I think he went into
that's his dad's horse. That's his dad's
Hachimaru's
dad's horse, which he never talks about. Where did he get the horse from?
Exactly. Yeah. They made him look like he was going to become a samurai.
That's what I thought as well.
Same. I thought he was going to pop in, be a samurai, and be badass.
Because he had the blood-sucking sword or something like that, and then you find out he has a horse, and he has all this knowledge of this shit, and you're like, oh, he was an ex-samurai, something happened, his princess died, but him and his princess had a kid, and his kid is Hachimaru. Nope, that
You
just
guys
got
ever
tossed out the
see
fucking window.
Blue Exorcist? Either of you guys see
I
that?
haven't. I want
I
to.
think I started it. I don't remember.
In the very beginning of the anime, they basically tell you that the dad of the main character, he was like the most badass guy. Like,
Yeah.
and you never get to see it. Never.
What?
Yeah, it's just like it's one of the things I remember from the anime so clearly, where it's like, I want to see the dad so much. It's
Is
like,
it
that's
like
all
when
I
you
want to
when
see.
they tell you that Gon's dad was super badass?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
it's exactly like that.
I wonder if it's on the same level of like, at a certain point it's just impossible to describe them accurately in the form of like anime or manga
Yeah.
because it's like they're just so god tier. It's like because I've watched.
But I mean,
There's
fucking
a guy,
anime and manga are the home of god tier people.
well, I mean, I've watched this. There's another YouTuber that I used to watch. His name is Comics Explained, and he basically just talks about
He's pretty
comics.
cool, yeah.
Yeah, I really loved his stuff. But one thing I realized with all comic books is just they got to a point where they were so fucking broken that you couldn't even fucking. The
Kill 'em.
writers have no idea how to handle a character that grandiose. Like, it's like, oh, he's omniscient. He can see the future. He can see the past. He can do all of this stuff. It's like, well, how do you play a character
Yeah.
like that?
But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, because there are times where that is the case with some characters. But then you get a writer who comes in and they do a fucking fantastic creative thing
Yeah.
with that character, and it
It's
just knocks
like,
it off the fucking roof, you know?
It's like,
Yeah.
what's it called? Galactus right now, like in the new Thor run for this year.
Yeah.
Galactus. He's a eater of worlds,
Yeah.
super powerful and stuff like that. He's getting his ass beat by Thor in this new one.
Yeah, it's the power balance is weird. It's wonky. They make random characters have the same level of power.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we
I
just
don't know.
introduced this guy. Like, it's, and I get that's like kind of the nature of comics. They like to retell a story, see like, oh, what would happen if this, but it's just weird for me. And then I don't know if you guys caught on to it. They were bringing up shoguns.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, please don't fucking dump shit on me again, because it was just another like, oh, we've got like a fucking grandmaster
what they
general,
call like a galactic star shogun or something like that.
Yeah.
something like that. And
It sounds cool, and like
It does.
like I said, if you just told me like a
Sounds
basic
like wanting
outline
to be
of
the fucking
this,
Pirate King to me, dude. That's what it sounds like.
It sounds like
Yeah.
Hokage or Kage to me,
Yeah.
to be quite honest.
Yeah.
As soon as you meet one, there's going to be 42 others, and
oh yeah, I'm the planetary Kage.
It's like, yeah, that's the Galactic Shogun, but he's the Galactic Shogun of this galaxy. So,
and by the way, we just killed ours in the first 10 seconds we introduced you, just to remind you that Ata is very powerful.
Mhm.
And yeah, I just don't know, man. I don't know, because I wanna see more of the master. The master for Daruma, the chick that was like that's holding the main bad guy at bay kind of thing.
Mhm.
I don't know how she's doing it. They don't tell you. They just show this grandiose like ocean thing, and she's talking to him with her back to him. Like, oh, go handle this shit. I'm doing something. You don't know what she's really doing to keep the main bad guy at bay. It was kind of reminding me of like what was it, Dead Mount Death Play, where the main character is like the super badass character, but you find out his master is actually way more
Yeah.
broken than he is. And yeah, I would like to see her at some point. See, that this is the issue I'm having. I would love to continue this if it was an anime. I would watch it with all the lore dump, all the shit that they pulled. I think with the action scenes that they have, and I think with the concept that they have, as long as they stick with it for a relatively long amount of time, I would watch the fuck out of the anime. But we literally can't force ourselves to continue reading the manga, because it's just like, I don't know. It's not. Is it going to be worth
Yeah.
it? Is it just going to be the same pain of the
it
first?
it feels like I need to be taking notes with the
Yeah,
manga.
yeah.
Like,
It literally feels like you're studying.
And before we read this, I was thinking like, to make these videos a lot better, I think I should start taking notes. I was going to message you guys like, hey, I think we should start taking notes. Then we read this fucking right after I had that thought. I was like, and you just said it, same fucking idea I had. I was like, there's no fucking way.
yeah, it was brutal. It was really like just reading it. Even like at the time reading it, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna fucking remember any of this. It's like,
Yeah.
Same. Oh my god. I'm struggling.
Normally the issue we have with these when we go super in depth is we don't know where to start because we want to just keep jumping around because there's so many cool parts. This, it's like I can't tell you a portion of the story without lore dumping you to get you there,
Yeah.
and then we have to go back to lore dump more shit because we didn't tell you all about the stuff that needed to be lore dumped prior to it. Just, yeah, I saw a lot of promise once I started reading it, and I realized that they kind of just fell short on everything.
I think, kind of wrapping up on talking about Samurai 8 so we could move on to what next month's going to be. But
Yeah.
I think it can get better. I agree with Josh. I think there's a lot of promise there.
Will it?
But I think for most people, if it's not already grabbing their attention and really good by the third volume, I think they're out.
I agree with you.
That's a lot to read for you to still not care.
How hard was it to get me to get to episode 14? I'm a fucking broken record of this. How hard was it to get me to get to episode 14 of Black Clover?
Yeah.
It was damn near impossible. I don't regret it in the slightest now. Yeah. And I'm hoping this is something, but 3 fucking volumes for it to just barely start saying, hey, you know what? This is kind of cool.
Dude, and compare it to something that we already read, like an example, last month's Tokyo Revengers.
That was great. That was great.
In 3 volumes.
Yeah. It's just insane. Like, I think ever since Hinowa got crushed, we've just had this like steady upward stream of just like quality. The storytelling is good. Even if they're like the fucking fighting anime kind of manga or anything like that, the shonen shit, it's good. Like it's not just heavily relying on story, or it's not just heavily relying on action. It's good. And yeah, I didn't feel it with this one. But
okay. Any other last thoughts that you guys want to touch on? Did we miss anything?
I mean, I like the aesthetics of it, kinda. Except for when it got a little too blurry and messy.
Okay, I could go into detail and go much longer, but I did not like the aesthetics of it. I think the aesthetics looked like a fucking Dr. Seuss book.
The thing that tripped me out was when they would like split open and show their souls and the key and stuff, and I'd be like, huh.
See, that was cool, but a prime example very early on when he's flying and you get the beautiful...
Thank you!
The beautiful scenery.
Beautiful scenery. I was like, wow, okay, and then I looked at it, I was like, it's really not that impressive. Don't really think that looks that cool.
The whole scene leading just to that image, I had no idea what was happening, and I was like, this isn't an action scene. The guy's flying on his fucking pet.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, no, there was a lot. Like, I think when they got too grand a scale, they just didn't know how to fucking draw any of it. And they're just like, we'll let you kind of interpret it how you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
So hit me with what you got next week.
Okay. So thanks for watching. Hopefully that fulfills your Samurai 8. Just for the record, we all thought it was totally okay. So we didn't hate it, but not the best thing we've ever read.
Yeah.
So for next month, so coming back in July is when we're going to be coming back and do the next one. We're doing something that is actually done already. So
nice.
It's finished, and there's actually only 3 volumes of it. So it's done.
So it's the whole thing?
It's done in 3 volumes. So I doubt any of you guys have. Josh, you might be familiar with this title because I think JJ liked this one a lot. Okay. Are you guys familiar with Dance in the Vampire Bund? Does that sound familiar at all?
I've heard of this, but I don't know anything about it.
Very popular anime, and I think it was just as popular as a manga as well back in the day. So the creator of that, he made a manga, and I used to see it in my store a lot. I had no idea it was done in 3 volumes, so I think this will be kind of unique to read. Something that is done in 3 volumes. It's called Soul Liquid Chambers, and it features a girl on the front cover. She's missing an arm, and she has like a fucking chainsaw on the other arm.
What?
So just to give you the quick summary, it says, a girl with prosthetic limbs and a tragic past wanders a zombie-ridden 23rd century Earth, now known as Dead Man's Playground. Overrun by monsters, the post-apocalyptic wasteland is the last place a little girl should call home, but she's developed a unique coping mechanism. There you go.
Okay.
Interesting.
So the art on the cover, at the very least, which is usually how I pick what we're reading, I just see a name. Does it have 3 volumes, and does the cover look cool as fuck? It fulfills all that. The art looks crazy. I
just looked at it.
Yeah, right? Looks good.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to read it. I think it's going to be good, but it finished last year. Like, there were only 3 volumes. I think it ended in February of last year. So we will be back in July with Soul Liquid Chambers.
Oh my god, just from the picture of it, you could tell she's a Watchmen fan, and she likes Captain America.
Yep. So with that, thank you guys for watching. We do appreciate it. This has been the Mangaku for June. So if you did like the video, please be sure to leave us a like and subscribe, because we do Mangakus every month. And then we're actually going to continue doing a few more mini Mangaku, in case you might have already seen that. There is a Shonen Jump contest going on right now, where if you submit your manga, I think they just want a chapter, but you can submit a manga chapter and it'll be judged by a ton of famous authors. Author of Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, Blue Exorcist, My Hero, huge names. They will read through them all and they will judge them, and the winner, first place, gets serialized in Weekly Shonen Jump, and you get like a buttload of money, and it's open worldwide. So we're going through, we're picking our favorite ones. Well, not even our favorite. We're picking 3 random ones from there. We're discussing, and we're choosing a winner each week of who we think should go into the manga. And then at the very end, we will pick our ultimate winner. So stay tuned for that. We'll probably be back next week with more of that. Thank you for watching once again. See you next time.